No. What have I done?
Sir, do you have any idea why I pulled you over?
I have no idea. What did I do?
Do you know what the speed limit is back there?
45.
And how fast you were going?
No, sir.
A little bit faster than 45. A lot faster.
All right.
So where'd you learn to drive like that?
I had a coach in high school that taught me how to drive, Coach Barber.
You think we might need to redo some driver's ed training this morning?
We might do. Why don't you come ride with me?
Okay.
All right. So, I have a better idea. Instead of you teaching me how to drive, why don't you ride with the pastor?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Do it.
All right. So, I'm glad you pulled me over because I do know who you are, and it's going to be good to let Mason Bynum ride with the pastor. So, Mason, just tell me a little bit about yourself. You are tell us what you do.
I work for the Sheriff's Office here in Dale County. I'm the Chief Deputy. I've been there about 13 years now.
Okay.
Before that, I worked at the Auburn Police Department for a couple years, and really enjoyed that, but decided it was time to move home and work for my home agency.
Okay, so we're going to start off with our just a simple, give me a simple one-word answer, all right?
All right.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Auburn, Alabama.
War Eagle.
All right. Worked at the Auburn Police Department. Went to
That's
school there.
That's right.
Coffee, tea.
Tea.
Tea. Drive, fly.
Drive.
Drive. Cat, dog.
Dog.
You have a dog?
I do not. I've had a dog in the past, but not currently.
Mountain, beach.
Beach.
All right. Coke or Pepsi?
Out of those two, probably Coke, but neither.
Neither. All right. You're not a soft drink?
Not a soft drink.
Okay. All right. Morning or night?
Night.
All right. Toilet paper. You may not even know this. Over or under?
Over. No other way.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Since you're in the car with me, is it okay if I run a red light or something?
Let's try not to.
Okay. Apple or Android?
Apple.
All right. And then we've got text or talk?
Text.
Text. All right, good. So I do have some questions I want to ask you. So you shared with us about what you do. Before I ask some questions, tell me a little bit about your family.
I'm married to Laura Ashley. She is from Ozark as well, and we have two girls, Bentley Lane, who will be 5 on Wednesday, and Amelia Claire, who was just turned 1 in September.
Okay. And Bentley Lane's a big Auburn fan, isn't she?
Not quite. I wish she was, but unfortunately she has followed the path of her mother and her mother's family. So I've got hope for Amelia Claire, so maybe I can bring her to the light.
All right, so first question, what is it that made you want to get into law enforcement?
It's kind of cliche, but I've always wanted to help people, and that's the standard answer, I know, but from a very early age I've been intrigued by law enforcement and the role they play in our community, and that was the main reason. I've had some people growing up that I really looked up to, one being Sheriff Brian Mixon. Always intrigued by him and the way he ran his office, and you know, that's part of the reason. But it's waking up every day and not knowing what opportunities you're going to get that day. Some people call them challenges, but I like to call them opportunities, because you never know. It's different from one day to the next, and that, you know, that aspect of it really draws me closer to it.
All right. So give me an ideal day. What's your ideal day when you get up?
There's no 2 days that look the same. You never know what's going to happen. I usually get up and take my oldest to preschool, and then go for a run to try to just clear my head and get ready for the day and see what's going to happen. You know, I could be in Clopton trying to figure out while the neighbor's dog is getting into the trash, or I could be, you know, somewhere else, you know, working a homicide. So it's just, it varies from day to day, and it's everything in between.
All right. So here's a good question. What do you love most about your job, and what do you like the least?
I love serving my community. Like I said, I worked at the Auburn Police Department for a couple of years, and I really loved that. But it wasn't. There was some stuff missing, and that I felt was not all there. So I decided to come back home and work for the sheriff's office, and it's just something about working and serving your own community, the community that you were raised in. That just has a special place to me, and that's just, you know, adds value to what I do.
Okay.
And on the contrary to that is being from here, you know, a lot of people that live here, and you've grown up with them, and you've befriended them, and your families know each other, and sometimes as much as that helps, that does hurt when people try to take advantage of that, and
Sure.
And it's kind of awkward sometimes doing the job, but you know, it's something you just got to do.
Everybody wants a favor.
That's right.
All right. So this whole deal with COVID-19, how has that affected law enforcement in your opinion?
Well, we've had to take a new approach and change the ways we go about, you know, fighting crime and doing the day-to-day operations, not just the fighting crime, but just what we do every day and how we interact with each other and interact with the public. Mm-hmm. We've had to, you know, scale back some stuff we do and think of new ways and new ideas, and it's been very challenging.
Okay. So I'm going to change the subject a little bit. What is the strangest food you've ever eaten?
Strangest food?
Mm-hmm.
Brains and eggs.
Oh, what kind of brains?
Hog brains. Don't knock it till you try it. It's pretty good.
Why? Who made you try it?
No one made me try it. It was just offered, and I was like, it looks pretty good, and it's offered annually at the Bethel Barbecue out in Echo. If you want to come out there with me and be my guest and try it,
Okay.
it's pretty good.
I'll have to think about that.
All right.
So, what's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite type of food?
Favorite restaurant, without a doubt, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Without a doubt.
All right. Favorite food?
Seafood. I like seafood. Surf and turf.
Okay. All right. Who has had the greatest influence on your life?
There's been several people that I think have had a substantial influence in my life, but probably my parents.
Parents?
Probably not one person. Probably my parents for laying the foundation at an early age and leading me on that right path and being there and setting a good example.
Okay. So, if you could eat a meal, let's say you could have supper with anybody in the Bible other than Jesus, and I'll say other than Paul, who would it be and why?
And why? Maybe Moses.
Moses.
And you know, he was given a challenge of you know, leading people to the promised land, and you know, he was not, you know, eager and, you know, ready to take part of it. He had to, you know, work his way up to it, and I think that kind of correlates with some of the stuff that, you know, the challenges I get sometimes is not real eager to jump on it, but you know, it's God giving me the wisdom to tackle it head on and do what's right.
All right. I say you're scanning. Are you constantly
I'm always
scanning
looking.
to see if
That's part of my job, but one of my dad's favorite quotes is "Keep your head on a swivel." So I'm always looking for the threat.
I got you. I noticed that.
And that's just what I do. And even when I'm off with my family, LA gets on to me when she's talking to me, and she's deep in conversation. I'm scanning,
Yeah.
and but she knows I'm listening.
Do you like to sit with your back to the door?
No, I cannot sit with my back to the door. Absolutely not.
I got you. All right. One final question before we get to the list of questions over here that you get to pick from. So you're the father of 2 young girls, right?
Yes, sir.
What advice would you give to another father who is maybe got smaller kids than yours, or just advice in general?
You'll never be prepared to to have kids. I was scared to death. Took me a long time to bite the bullet and get married. We dated for almost 10 years, but having children is probably the best thing that's ever happened in my life.
Right. All right, good. Okay, that's all the tough questions.
That's not bad.
All right, you ready for some easy ones right here?
No.
I got some questions. Pick one from that stack of envelopes. Open it up.
Number 10.
Read it out to us.
How did you meet your spouse? We both grew up in Ozark. She went to Carroll High. I went to GW Long. Just kind of knew each other, same age, ran some of the same circles. First time really getting to know her probably was at the Methodist Church at the youth group. She attended there, and had a friend of mine that went there, and I went with him on a couple of occasions, and that's probably the first time I met her, but really didn't get serious until we were both in college. She went to Alabama and I went to Auburn, and here we are.
Did y'all date during?
We did.
College?
We did, and that was interesting.
That worked
we
out.
survived a few Iron Bowls, and it was. We don't talk on game day, but
what was the record while y'all were in school?
We never lost Alabama when I was in school.
Oh,
yeah, so that made it
that was part six in a row.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, Mason, thank you for pulling me over. Thank you for not giving me a ticket, and thank you for riding with the pastor. And I appreciate it.
I enjoyed it.
And I know the folks will be interested in learning a little bit more about you.
Maybe next time you can ride with me, we can patrol with the preacher.
All right, let's do it. Thank you, sir.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
God bless.